Everybody, this is Bo back in the Sports Lounge. Hey, we're going to go out and see Dione Wessl, Strongman competition. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Bo?
We're doing great here, man. It's been a wonderful day here in Detroit, Michigan, finally. We actually said something good about Detroit.
That's a very good thing.
You know what? We just been on your website. We read about some stories about you all. You have really changed and really focalized. I mean, your business right now is so visible. I think it's one of the most visible programs out there.
That's good to hear. That's very nice to hear.
And you know, having Mark Henry on your page, he is a big guy, and you were pretty tight with him there. I like that shot.
Yeah, Mark Henry is a very close friend of mine, actually. And only because I met him with the sport, and since I met him, gosh, 4 or 5 years ago, we've just become very close friends.
You know, it's I love watching your progression of your website, seeing how big things are getting for you. You're traveling around all the country, and it seems like you're getting a lot of love right now nationally.
Yes, we are. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Now, we're just curious right now. We saw that on your calendar. You've got 2 events coming up. Are you ready for those, or are you guys still trying to put the finishing touches on them?
We're still putting some finishing touches on it, but we are ready. We've got American Strongest Man coming up, which is, as everyone knows, the biggest American competition in America. And then we have our lightweight, which is the 231 guys. Their national championships coming up as well.
Now, I'm curious because we always seem to ask the same questions to reintroduce everybody to everybody. I think every year we try to do it. And we're just trying to get you to reintroduce your program. How did you get involved in this process? We know you were one heck of a power lifter back in your days, and it looks like you can still power lift a house.
That's funny. Of course, everyone knows I'm Dione Wessl. I'm the president of American Strongman Corporation, and as well as we have an amateur federation, North American Strongman Federation as well. We have a feeder. Our amateurs, our feeder system is the only way to become a professional athlete in the United States. Our top 5, top 10 level professional guys, they go on to compete internationally. They go on to compete on the television show World's Strongest Man, as well as other international competitions. I just got back from Fortissimus in Quebec, Canada, this is the second year in a row that they've had it, but it's gaining. I mean, and I say gaining, close gaining on some of the other top competitions. It was a very good show, and we had the top guys competing for 2 days on some heavy stuff.
What's amazing is the weights that these guys and gals are moving around and throwing around, because it's not always about the weight. It's about managing to move the object to a certain distance or picking it up. I mean, how do they come up with these ideas? I mean, moving cinder block balls seems pretty, basic, and then they change the sizes. You have to lift them to a certain size. You got the tires. I mean, it's just amazing to see the change in this sport the last 10 years and how much the difficulty has changed.
And the change that you see is because it is over the last 10 years, it has become an American product more so than an Eastern European product. And obviously in America, we have pretty much everything at our disposal. We don't have to just worry about the natural elements, although the natural elements such as your stones and pieces of metal, they're still part of the competition, but it's to a degree now to where you can shape those implements to a sponsor's liking or to your liking or to the specific competition. Like American Strongest Man, we're doing that in conjunction with a Harley-Davidson bike rally. So, they're expecting over 75,000 people out there. So we're going to have some implements where the athletes will be lifting, carrying, some of your big Harley-Davidsons. And that just relates to the general public because, the average bike rider, they know how heavy a bike is. I mean, they probably ran out of gas and had pushed their bike, but they never stopped.
That was me. That was me. I've been there, man. I've been there pushing my little Kawasaki, and it gets heavy after a mile.
Exactly. So if you can imagine our athletes, they're not going to be pushing it. They're going to be lifting it from 2 wheels and pressing it overhead and things of that nature.
When you look at the competition right now, we ask this, I guess, every year because somebody who's competed at the highest level, do you ever just, when no one's looking, go over and say, I think I still got it?
I did it. Yes, I did actually. Every year, we go to the Arnold Classic in Columbus, Ohio, and there's always some kind of a grip event or something that you have to lift, and you get a T-shirt or something. I don't do it for the T-shirt. I just do it to myself, if I can lift it or not. Plus, different competitions that we have to test the implement. And I'm not saying that I can go out there and lift 800 pounds, but I can at least give a tug at it, and I can break it from the ground or so, or something of that nature. And that lets me know if there's something that I can lift easily, I know that it's not going to be something that's going to test my athlete.
My sons are getting older where I used to wrestle with them. I used to hit them in football. I used to do it, but about 2 years ago, I realized when I hit my son in football, like we just lined up and he had pads on and I didn't. And about 30 minutes after doing that, I was standing in Walmart, and I noticed that the left side of my head, I couldn't feel anything, and I couldn't see it on my eye. And I realized that my time has passed. My son is physically now hurting me, and now I have to do more instructional. I have to discuss things with them. I'm not trying to lift 800 pounds.
Hey, it keeps you young.
I'm pretty sure no. It's like my idea of working out is pouring the coffee at a certain level and maintaining it for the whole day just like that. That's the big workout that I have going on. And then I volunteer at one of the local high schools, so I have to walk up the stairs with all my camera gear, and then I got to communicate with a couple staff members to make sure and take good pictures. That's the workout right there. My hat goes off to you, man. That's impressive.
Thank you.
Dione, this is Terry. Quick question for you. How do you personally stay in shape?
I personally stay in shape. I still work out. I go to the gym probably about 4 or 5 times a week. It just depends what my travel schedule is. If it's not so taxing, I can make it 6 times. And I still get up, and whether I'm traveling or not, I'll still get up early in the morning and go take about a mile or 2 run. So that's pretty much what I do to stay in shape.
Now, your kids got to be kind of old now. Are any of them looking like they're going to be lifting weights at any point in time?
My 8-year-old daughter, both my girls are swimmers. My 8-year-old daughter, my husband teaches a weightlifting class in the summer. So she goes in and she does demos for her. So she will go in and, he has a couple of girls, teenage girls that complain they can't lift this. So my 8-year-old daughter went in there. He just had a barbell, which is 45 pounds, and she did it. She showed them how to do an Olympic lift with that. So she has some potential. And then I have a son. He's only 3, but he's stronger than your average 6-year-old. So he may be some kind of a weightlifter.
And, we look at these weightlifters on ESPN. We look at them on, ABC. We go on YouTube and watch them. I mean, right now, realistically, I'm being serious, is there any limitations to what a human body can actually do? Because 30 years ago, as you know, people said you'll never, ever be able to do this. Well, it seems like they say the same things now. The human body will never be able to support it. And with the science, it just seems like the human body can do whatever it's trained to do. The body repairs, bone tissue when you lift certain things. Your tendons get stronger. Your muscles get stronger. Is there really any limitations what a human body can do?
We're trying to still find that because, we thought there were limitations. You say 30 years ago. If you look back, 5, 10 years ago, back in Bill Kazmaier days, the kegs that the athletes, when Bill Kazmaier, one of the memorable things that people remember about him is when they had a keg load, he would stop short of the finish line and toss the kegs into the truck. Well, at the time, those kegs were around 100, a little bit over 100 pounds or so, whereas now the kegs that the athletes are having to carry and throw are 300 plus pounds. So that just shows you the difference. And then, like the yoke walk implement that they carry, where they're carrying the weight on their back. Gosh, my amateurs are now carrying more weight than what they carried 5 years ago. My amateurs are now carrying over 900 pounds. At the Arnold, they're carrying over 1,100 pounds. So we're still trying to find that limit. We're still trying to find it. I know it's out there. We just haven't reached it yet because every year that level of competition, the bar is raised.
Yeah, I mean, every time it's funny because people always talk about the best of all time in all sports, and I've always been of the mindset there's no best of all